And now we're going to welcome up our lightning talk from Elaine Franklin from the city of Hollywood.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Elaine Franklin with the City of Hollywood, Florida. I am their environmental sustainability coordinator, and I have been with the city for 6 years. In that time, we have passed an ordinance on single-use plastics and styrofoam, also known as polystyrene, in an effort to reduce waste in our city. So far, I'm pushing buttons and it's not advancing, but let me try again. It's not responding to my finger. Maybe my finger is, okay, it's working for you. All right, let me see. Okay, there we go. Got it. This is normal for me to have problems with technology. So the first thing I'll do in this quick presentation is to discuss the types of products that have been banned by our ordinance. Then I'll talk about the provisions, who it applies to, and last I'll cover our outreach efforts. So one of the categories of items is single-use plastic. As you can see, here in South Florida, we are home to brown pelicans and a wide variety of other birds and wildlife that use the air, sea, and land, and single-use plastics are harmful to them. So these images, again, are just examples of some animals that are affected by these products. Hollywood is home to 3 species of endangered and threatened sea turtles: the leatherback, the loggerhead, and the green sea turtle. So in our outreach, one of the materials we share is this graphic about plastics in the marine environment, how long it takes them to break down, and in the case of turtles specifically, how it affects them at various stages of their life. So we also ban polystyrene, better known as styrofoam. And styrofoam, as you all know, is very toxic. It breaks down into small pieces in an aquatic environment. It can look like little beads, which to animals that eat eggs and things like that, it can look just like eggs. So it's really important that we try to minimize the use of this material. And we also have incredible animals right here in Hollywood, Florida, like manta rays, which are filter feeders. So it's very critical that we try to keep our marine environment as clean as possible. For anyone who's from this area or who is going to spend time here, that is the Positano building in the distance, which is just at the end of Sheridan Street here. So when you go over to the beach and you see this building, that's where this manta ray was, just offshore. So this area is really important for a lot of wildlife, and it's important that we try to minimize this material. So we also banned the intentional release of balloons. And as you can see, balloons can look to a sea turtle like this green sea turtle, just like a jellyfish, which is one of their food sources. So we have banned the intentional release of balloons anywhere on Hollywood property. Balloons are banned in general for any purpose on the beach. So these provisions apply to anyone selling items to the city. It also applies to anyone who needs a special event permit. And a word that's missing from this slide is anyone on city property. So if you're at Hollywood Beach, on the Broadwalk, or at any city facility, community centers, parks, city hall, if you're going to the chamber to speak to the mayor and commissioners, people need to make sure that they don't bring any single-use bottles, plastic bags, foam, utensils, any of that. So it applies to unencapsulated styrofoam. What you see here is an example of a type of cooler that would be allowed on the beach because the foam is encapsulated. But any of those coolers you've seen that are simply styrofoam, they cannot come to our beach or be used at any city facility. And here are some examples of alternative activities to balloon releases, because we often think of balloon releases as a way to memorialize someone or to celebrate something. And sadly, when you release balloons to celebrate something, you're releasing a very harmful and deadly pollutant into the environment that can travel hundreds to thousands of miles and kill animals repeatedly. So it's really not a great way to celebrate or to memorialize someone. So here are just a few examples of alternatives, such as blowing bubbles, flying kites, making tissue paper, pom-poms, drumming, planting in honor of someone. There are many different things you can do that will not harm wildlife in the long run and help to celebrate that special event. So for our outreach, I have given presentations to our civic associations, our business associations, to city staff, and to the general public. We have a lot of outreach events. This is the peak of our outreach season during Earth Day, Arbor Day. We have Water Matters Day celebrated by Broward County. We have Food Waste Prevention Week coming up next week. And at those various events, we have outreach tables. We do quiz questions for adults and children. We have giveaways such as reusable snack pouches, reusable bottles, shopping bags, all of those types of things that people can use and can use over and over again and replace those single-use plastics. One of the things you see here is an image. Oh, there's a couple of images here from a sustainable products expo that we held 2 years ago and invited the businesses so that they could see what alternative products there are for serving food and beverages that are not plastic or foam. So we've also reached out to businesses and provided a little cheat sheet, especially for restaurants that want to pack up takeaway items for people. This is a little half sheet that they can post wherever it is that their staff pack their items so that they know all of the items that are not allowed, or if they're voluntarily complying, that they would avoid those items. So bioplastic is one of the items on our list. I'm sure many of you have seen this type of material. You've seen those cups with the green stripe and it says compostable. Those are not biodegradable. They are only compostable in industrial facilities. And let's say you go to Hollywood Beach, you get a cup, you drink your drink, you're sitting on our knee wall. If you haven't been there yet, hopefully you'll get to, enjoy the space. And you've emptied your cup and then the wind blows and just blows your cup away. You are a kind, thoughtful person and you absolutely don't mean to litter, but it's gotten away from you. And the next thing you know, it's out in the ocean. It's going to behave exactly like plastic in the marine environment. So bioplastic is also not allowed in our code. And I highlight this specifically for businesses because they often go to those types of cups as their solution. And I just have to point out to them very clearly that those are still not allowed in our city. And this is why. Thank you. So Hollywood is a draw for lots of visitors. And how do we reach visitors? Well, one of the things that we've done is we sent information to a huge list of vacation rentals in our city. If anybody stayed at an Airbnb or any of those places where you go into the property and they have a little information notebook, those are great to help you get oriented, see what the best restaurants are, things to do, stuff like that. So we sent this information to those properties so that they can add that information to their book so that any visitor staying on the property who happens to look through the book can see, oh, I'm staying in a city that's plastic and foam free. And here's a list of all the parks that belong to the city that are also under this rule. So if I'm planning to go to a picnic or go enjoy myself at one of these parks, I have to make sure I don't bring a plastic bottle, plastic bag, etc. We have this information in English and Spanish because we have a very large Spanish-speaking population here. So we want to make sure that we're communicating to as many people as possible. Another item we have is a simple 9 tips on how to reduce your plastic use. So this is a graphic created by Plastic Free July. Who here has heard about Plastic Free July? Yes, some of you. Wonderful. Well, now all of you have heard of Plastic Free July. It's a wonderful initiative. It's a global initiative, and they provide lots of resources. We have had events for city staff to help educate them and help them develop new habits by doing different challenges during the month of July and offering prizes. So this is one of the graphics that they've created, and we share this with the public. So here are the other 6 of those 9 tips. And lastly, we have to support people's ability to adhere to the ordinance. So we have put in bottle fillers at several places along Hollywood Broadwalk. We have bottle fillers in our city offices because the ban applies to all city staff because we're on city property. We have provided reusable insulated cups for staff so that they don't have to get their own, or it's much easier for them to comply. And then we also like to highlight businesses that are doing the right thing. So this is an example of a hotel or condo that has a kiosk on the beach, and they have a water container with paper cups for any people who get thirsty while they're enjoying the beach. They can come get some water. If they happen not to have a bottle, they can just get some water right there. So I talked to these folks, took a picture, wrote it up in our city manager's weekly report, and really put it out there. We're trying to encourage businesses to comply with this ordinance. So thank you very much for your time.